There we are. Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to Game Talk. If the big glowing sign in the middle wasn't a big enough hint. Tonight we're talking Modern Warfare 3 and just the state of COD as it stands at the moment. And because I am, ignorant would probably be the most charitable thing to say about COD, I brought in some experts. First off, we'll start just to my right, or I guess, just to my right up there. That's RyanRellish in front of the Modern Warfare banner. Mr. Relish has been playing COD for 18 years. He started back in the Call of Duty 2 days. Mr. Relish is also the stream team lead for Raw Nation, an esports organization. He's played some cash tournaments on Warzone with the other two participants in tonight's little tete-a-tete. And he's also my boss with Raw Nation's stream team as I'm a member of. So we're going to be really nice to him.
Or don't, doesn't matter.
Right below me is Mr. Rex. He is the video editor for Raw Nation and has been playing COD for 15 plus years himself. He started back in the Black Ops days. He's played in those Warzone trainings like we said. And he also does all the editing for the Rex and Relish YouTube channel, which will be linked below. So go take a look at that when you have a chance. They got some cool, fun stuff. If you like COD plays, they got some of those on there too. And then in the corner, last but not least, is the burner of Snowman, Mr. Snowman Burner himself. He's been playing for 15 years as well. Started in Black Ops. He decided to gamble some of his life away in some cash tournaments. And is in general just incredibly knowledgeable about this game and is also a member of Raw Nation's stream team. And in case you haven't noticed, Raw Nation seems to be a thread here. So if any of you are interested in them, their channel will be linked below as well as their website will be in the description. So when you get a chance, check them out. They're always looking for interesting people to come and play for them. So welcome, gentlemen. Thank you so much for taking the time. I appreciate it.
Thanks for
having us.
Appreciate being here.
So also, all of these gentlemen have the beta for Modern Warfare 3. They pre-purchased it, and they played the beta. And they're now playing the campaign just a bit, as it came out, yesterday is when you could start playing it, or was that today?
Yesterday.
So they played on that a little bit. So I guess I'll just start off with just impressions. You know, you guys have played plenty of COD. Is this a good COD? We won't bury the lead here. Is Modern Warfare 3 going to hold up well, or is it a trash can fire that we all should avoid and just keep playing Modern Warfare 2?
Well, as of right now, campaign, very unimpressionable. It's basically like running a bunch of Spec Ops missions. I'm sure some people that watch this have seen the reviews from some of the bigger streamers. It's what they say. It's a bunch of Spec Ops missions. Other than that, the gameplay, the gun feel, the movement, 10 times better than Modern Warfare 2. So if you're in it for multiplayer, buy the game. If you're looking for campaign, I wouldn't. That's just my personal opinion.
I'll piggyback off what he said. Playing a little bit of it myself. Gunplay, like you said, fantastic in comparison. Movement is a lot smoother. You feel a lot faster. You're getting into engagements a lot quicker and cleaner than you would in Modern Warfare 2. As far as the story goes, sure, there's some tie-in to Modern Warfare 2, but as of right now, from where we're at, there's not a whole lot of drive to the story. There's not that connection that you felt with the characters like in the other games.
Yeah, and I basically have like the same sentiment as them. It's like gunplay feels all right, and yeah, if if you're looking for story, it is a little lackluster. Like it gives, honestly, it gives a niche to some people that might enjoy it because it's a little bit more open world and you can choose how you want to take on things. But I think people have grown really attached to the more linear path and more of like a solid story to go along with everything.
Very cool. Now, I've seen a lot of people making comparisons to Call of Duty Cold War, and I was curious. Do you guys get that feeling? A lot of people have said the movement reminds them of that a bit. And now I have no idea what the hell they're talking about, but you guys may.
I would say that the movement is a bit smoother than Cold War. A lot of people are going to say that, the slide canceling, there needs to not be a delay after you get out of your slide. I think it's perfect. It doesn't reset your attack sprint, which is really what Modern Warfare 2019 through Vanguard needed. Because, yes, it's a skill gap to be able to slide cancel on somebody and, not have that delay. But if they want to keep some casuals in, then they need to implement something, but not the shit movement from Modern Warfare 2. So yes, I would say it feels a little bit like Cold War, Modern Warfare 2019. It's got that vibe, but it's different. It's its own, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, it's like they took the best parts, especially like when it comes to gameplay wise, they kind of like took things that people actually liked and enjoyed from each game and kind of combined them into a pretty decent and smooth experience of so far what we've been able to play around with.
You can definitely tell there's going to be a skill gap for certain players.
Just based on the movement?
Yep. Because gunplay, I love the gunplay, but at the same time, most guns have absolutely no recoil. So they're just laser beams. To whereas in Modern Warfare 2, as you played, it felt like every gun had its own recoil pattern.
Yeah.
And some of them were bad. Especially if you didn't tune. Which they're taking that out, by the way, if you didn't know. Tuning weapons is getting removed completely from both games.
That actually doesn't make me too
two?
sad. Because for me, it was just look up what best tuning is and put that in, because I don't know what the best is, and I wasn't going to invest the time to, try and figure out, oh, if I max this is the way or this isn't the way. So it was just, Google best tuning put in. So it's just removing that step. That's fine with me. As
it makes
that
it more
player.
It makes it an even playing field for everybody. So it's going to be more about gun skill instead of, I am tuning my gun properly and I'm going to shoot you and kill you in 2 bullets. So,
and that's for me too. Is COD is a run and gun game. That's its idea. That's what it is. A lot of people talk about like Siege and things like that, and it's like, yes, that you're supposed to be a bit slower and more tactical, and it's not just all aim, no brain kind of thing. But COD is more, hey, if you can aim, if you can move right, it sounds to me like it's going to give you an advantage, and that's good because you get, like Ryan was saying, a skill gap.
And that's definitely needed, especially after the year we've had with COD. Call of Duty lost a lot of its big-time players with this last game, and it's going to take a lot for them to get some of them back, and I think they're on the right path to do that.
Well, hey, everybody. Eagle from the future here, and I'm sorry to interrupt you in this, but if you're here at the 9-minute mark like you are if you're seeing this, I would really appreciate if you go down below and click that subscribe button. And while you're down there, ruffling my jimmies by clicking that subscribe button, leave a comment, leave an emoji, leave something to let me know that you were here at 9 minutes and 22 seconds into the first Game Talk video. I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, I definitely think with the change of the gunplay and actually bringing back all the maps that a lot of people were hoping and thinking that would be in the last game is definitely very helpful because it hits that nostalgia bug and then also hits back onto like the gameplay that a lot of people really enjoyed more towards like 2019.
Now, did they do the maps justice, I guess is the best way? I mean, I don't have a comparison to them, but do they mess with them very much, or is it just basically the exact same map, just updated graphics?
I think out of all of us, I was the only one that played the original Modern Warfare 2, right?
I did not play a whole lot of it, no.
Yeah, I was about to say I barely played a few matches when my cousin would bring it over, so I barely remember jack shit.
High Rise. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was about to say, well, any just from your play of 3, any opinions on the maps? Were they good, bad?
So
different?
they're all Modern Warfare 2, like the original maps from that. High Rise is the exact same. They added an easier way to get to the roof that everybody loves. I don't know if any of you guys know about the roof, but the roof play, people thought it was a glitch. It's not. It's actually meant for you to get up there. So it's the exact same, but they added a new way to get to the roof. Rust is Rust. Rust hasn't changed since it's been out. What's the other one? The House in the Woods.
States.
The States. That's had different variations through a bunch of different CODs. This one hits right at home for those who played the original Modern Warfare 2. It's pretty much the exact same as it was when we left it in 2009. And then, what was the last? Favela. It's still just as campy as ever. You can find a guy in a corner because it's so big. It's too big for 6v6. They chose some of the shittiest maps. Excuse my language. I'm sorry, but they chose some of the crappiest maps to put into the beta. But I guess they can't show their hand right out of the gate. But all in all, I mean, they're all very similar to what they were back in 2009. So I think people are going to enjoy that. Get the nostalgia feel. I'm still listening.
Yeah, now I've also seen some things where people have been kind of complaining about how they're working the spawns, especially for things like what was it, Hardpoint? They're saying there's a lot of spawning like behind you. Did you guys notice that when you were playing the beta?
So yes, and there's a little bit of a explanation for that. They're introducing a new game mode, essentially a 3v3v3 that takes place on these 6v6 or these smaller maps compared to, the ground war map, which is meant for up to 12v12 or bigger. And so they're trying to fine tune these spawns, and in a beta setting, it's really hard without making a super big update to, hey, so this map is being used as a 6v6 map currently and not this new mode that we've implemented. So a lot of those spawns are overlapping, and, without all these minor updates to how the map is currently being played, we're going to have those sort of issues where, yes, I'm sitting in my own spawn, but there is technically a spawn behind me for an enemy player for some of these other modes that are played on the same maps.
I mean, that's just Hardpoint, though, right? Hardpoint is constant movement back and forth trying to capture the flags. So, if your team captures C and you're sitting on A, well, they can't just have the enemy team spawn in the middle of the map. They're getting pinched that way. That's an even worse spawn than having them spawn on A side. So you take C, they're going to spawn on A. Gives them a chance to take a flag back. And if you hold all the flags, they can spawn anywhere. You don't know where spawn's going to be. But that's just the way Hardpoint plays.
Yeah, well, some people were just saying like they were noticing that, in the past, if you're near another spawn, it would kind of disable that spawn, and they would have to spawn in a little bit somewhere else. But they weren't seeing that, like people almost spawning in next to them.
We've had these spawn issues since the reboot of Modern Warfare. It's just been that way. They've tried to address it. First time they tried to address it, they made it worse, where you could be playing on one of the biggest maps and you still have enemy people spawning on top of you. You could be running out of spawn and they're just spawning. So recently, these spawn issues have been really bad. Treyarch really took care of that in Cold War, but then it got progressively worse when Vanguard came out, and they just haven't tried to fix it since. It's like they can't get their coding down for spawns.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that too. Of like a lot of people have said that I may get this wrong, but it was Sledgehammer that did this one. Is that the subset?
Modern Warfare 3 is actually made by all three major COD companies. So it's made by Infinity Ward, who did the campaign, Sledgehammer is doing the multiplayer, and Treyarch is doing the zombies. Whereas in years past, it's only been one major company that's done a game. So Vanguard was Sledgehammer.
Mm-hmm.
Modern Warfare 2 was Infinity Ward.
Yeah.
Cold War was Treyarch. Modern Warfare 2019 obviously was Infinity Ward. So on and so forth. It normally goes on a cycle, but we've screwed that cycle up. So now, from my sources, it's going to go... So Modern Warfare 2 last year. Modern Warfare 3. They're redoing Black Ops 1. Then it's going to be Black Ops 2. So that's 2 Treyarch games in a row. And then we're going to Sledgehammer.
Yeah, I've heard that.
The hope... Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, the hope is all of the COD companies are going to work on these future games together.
Yeah, I've heard that since Microsoft is now obviously the owner of COD, that they're increasing the pacing of it. Instead of one every 2 years, they're going to go on an annual COD release. And I've also seen some criticism that maybe this was pushed out a little too fast because of that. And a lot of people are saying it really shows in the single player that the single player mode isn't very polished because it's a year early, and essentially.
They ended up pushing Treyarch's game back because Treyarch has been there the past 3 years to clean up the mess of everybody else. Treyarch is hands down probably the best all-around Call of Duty producer. Because they keep that arcade feel. They don't try for realism. Mm-hmm. They obviously have zombies, which that's a big community in and itself.
Big community.
Their multiplayer normally just towers over everybody else, and their story is really good.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. If you guys out there don't know, Mr. Burner of Snowman down there is still attempting to set world records at the zombies. I don't know how close he's getting, but one of these days he is going to succeed. I have no doubt about that. From my completely informed and knowledgeable opinion. But I was going to ask you about that. Did you have you been able to play any of the zombies, or is that a thing that's going to come out later? And are we excited?
We'll use the word skeptical, but we'll use it very lightly here. In previous iterations of zombies, there's typically essentially a background story that's playing on through as early as World at War even. So there's these Easter eggs, as they're called. You go through and you're completing tasks without having, your campaign list in the top left, top right that's like, hey, you need to reach point A. It's all about figuring it out. At one point in time, there's YouTubers, the minute it launches, going and looking for steps and clues, and these zombies maps can change. A lot of the zombies community is used to a round-based feel, so you're managing zombie spawns and power-ups. You're managing, finding all of these parts to essentially build things to progress through this background story. From what I've seen and what I've heard on gameplay for Modern Warfare 3's zombies. It'll feel more closely related to either Outbreak, which came out Cold War, or DMZ, which was really big when Modern Warfare 2 dropped because it was a newer mode. You have, AI plus zombies, and you're going around doing missions, and as of right now, there won't be, one of these background stories at launch, but the hope is to eventually build the world into having that available to some more hardcore zombies fans that are there for that story. So I'm skeptical. The gameplay, again, feels fantastic for campaign and multiplayer, so I have no doubts that it'll carry over and feel good in the zombies portion. I'm interested to see where they go story-wise, because, we used to have this cast of characters, and we were following the same cast or a parallel cast that's building on the same story. So I'm interested, I'm curious, but I'm skeptical.
Real quick, the rumor for zombies is it's going to piggyback off of the Modern Warfare 3, Modern Warfare 2, and Modern Warfare 2019. It's going to piggyback off the campaign. They're going to somehow try to intertwine those stories together and give it that sort of a feel. That's from what I've heard, at least.
That's about the same from what I've heard. As far as any of the YouTubers that I watch in the zombies community, they haven't been given any definite, hey, so, when an Easter egg were to come out, this is kind of how you start it, or this would be important. There's basically a blank slate there, and we're all just kind of itching to see how they decide to play this out.
Weapons. We talked a little bit. You said everything's a laser beam, but anything I guess anything interesting coming up? Just if you're gonna watch COD League, is there gonna be something crazy going on there? Is there gonna be a shoddy meta? Is there gonna be something like that going on?
Well, they're going to have 114 different weapons to choose from, if that means anything.
Oh, okay.
All of the Modern Warfare 2 guns are transferring over to Modern Warfare 3. So take 37, because that's the original in Modern Warfare 3. So 114 minus 37, quick math, somebody.
76, 77?
Somewhere around in there. That's how many guns are coming from Modern Warfare 2. So, you're going to be able to do camo grinds from Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 if you didn't finish them. All your camos are going to come over as well. Whatever you have, gold, platinum, whatever. It's coming over to Modern Warfare 3. They're going to have their own camo set, and the Modern Warfare 3 guns are going to have their own camo set. And then Zombies is also getting their own camo set. I think they said upwards near 100 and some different camos. Maybe more.
God damn.
And like 20 or 30 mastery camos. And that's including gold, platinum, and then the master camo. As for right now, the meta, probably the MCR, or is it the MCW? Is that what it's called?
I believe it is the MCW.
That's basically like the ACR from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 from 2009. So that's a fan favorite, obviously. That and oh gosh, what was that? What was that SMG that everybody was using? The one that looked like a commando.
Oh, I'm drawing a blank.
Well, there's a gun that looks like Mozzie's gun in the game. That was a really good gun. And then the Rival 9, which is the Scorpion Evo from Black Ops 2. Those guns shred. As for COD League, 9 times out of 10, shotguns are banned. They're not allowed to be used. And I'm sure, and I can be quoted for this if you want, anybody watching. the COD professionals are going to complain about every overpowered weapon in the game, and they're going to get removed as well. So, for right now, those are my top options for guns. And I would assume the semi-automatic sniper rifles will probably be banned as well. Other than that, I haven't had the chance to mess with any bolt-action sniper rifles yet. They haven't been introduced in the campaign, and they weren't in the beta. But those are probably my top guns that'll run the COD League, at least for a little bit, until somebody decides to be a crybaby.
I'll piggyback off that. It'll be nice to see, one, what bolt action snipers are allowed in COD League, and at least from what I'm hearing and seeing, the sniping has definitely been improved coming from Modern Warfare 2 to 3. I'm excited to see people pick up a sniper again in COD League, because some of the craziest clips of COD League come from some dude who just kind of has had it and decides he wants to, put people to shame.
So, serious question for me here. They took away my mutineers. I can no longer root for the Florida men anymore. So what team am I? What team should I root for? I gotta put a flag up on my wall. You guys agree on a team, or is there
Nope.
civil war in the gamer house?
I'm still a little removed from actually knowing a lot about like COD League, which is weird since I play it a lot, but I somehow know a little bit more about Rainbow Six League than I do COD League.
Which is really weird. Like, I love Rainbow Six as a game to play. It is so hard for me to watch it. It's just so discombobulated all the time.
I definitely get that, especially with the spectator view of the camera.
Yeah.
With Siege and watching the pros do it, I see it and I'm like, oh, I can do that. And I go in and try the strats and I get melted. So I can't watch Siege League. I can't. I get a wild hair at my ass, and then I end up getting pissed off at the game.
Because the other people have watched it and are trying to counteract what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah, and to wander off of COD for a second there, just for it's kind of related to COD. Like, I watched COD League for the first time this year, and it was wildly entertaining and wildly well done. Like, I used to watch StarCraft an awful lot as my esport of choice. I love that. And then I tried when I got into Siege to get into Siege, and Siege, unfortunately, is not a great esports watching title. I think it's a great esport. I think it's a great skill sport to watch, but just the way it's done is for to watch. Like, I wish they would do more overhead view more, and then maybe just snap to people that are in gunfights. But instead of just jumping around first person to first person all the time, because I don't know where the hell they're at. And it's like, oh, look at this guy. Oh, he got headshot. Okay, now we're at this guy. Oh, you got headshot. And it's just like, well, that was entertaining. I saw a half a second of what he saw, and then he was dead. Whereas,
or you don't even see him shoot the guy. They're just shooting through a wall, and it's like, oh, they got him. It's like, well, it would have been nice to see it.
Yeah, nice to know where he's at.
I think the best way to watch it is like post matchup highlights, because then sometimes they'll go over it and actually play back through it and show some of the angles of actually what happened, which makes it a little bit more understandable about what happened. It's like, oh, okay, I understand what was going on in that haze of what they were trying to show us.
Yeah. Whereas in COD, it was very. It flows very, very good. As soon as you understand the game modes, it's easy to follow, even not knowing the maps. And then obviously you can see the skill that's in it very, very easily as well, of how these guys react and turn it. And and then they do like the listen-ins while you're hearing them talk to each other and things like that. And you get a very good idea of how hard and how skillful these guys work to get where they're at. And it's like, oh yeah, you're not just sitting there with your controller and, I got my sticks. I'm good. I'm going to go play COD League now. It's like, oh, wow, you guys have a lot going on even behind the scenes. So I was favorably impressed, and I look forward to seeing COD League again with Modern Warfare 3.
On top of that, I think it was Vanguard. They took away being able to use mouse and keyboard. In COD League, you can only use controller now, because people were complaining about aim assist.
Yeah,
so they're like, okay, well now everybody gets it.
That actually reminds me, I did want to ask, how is aim assist in Modern Warfare 3? And my mouse and keyboard self, how much right do I have to complain?
I'm switching to mouse and keyboard if that tells you anything.
Okay. I have heard
aim
it's not incredible.
Exist.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist. I feel like I'm playing PUBG on controller. Would you guys say the same?
I would say that there's like a relative limit. Like, it's not as noticeable, but that's also because, been playing with and without without it between the different games that we've all played, and just playing it for so long, sometimes it's not outright noticeable, especially in the little bit that I got to play. Like,
not like in past games.
No,
past games you could literally just set your controller on the desk, and if an enemy goes by, your crosshair is going with him.
Yeah, and I think that's also what's fucked me up sometimes, is that it'd be like a random catch. Like, sometimes I would snap and follow somebody, wasn't ready, so I'm overcorrecting what they snap to, and I'm fucking up my shots because of it.
Like I said, I felt like the aim assist is turned way down in this year's game.
I think that's good. I mean, I understand why they do it, with crossplay and all that, and having seen people on controller with completely without it, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I can see where some is needed, but yeah, where it's I can let go of my joysticks and my gun will track people. That might be a smidge much.
So
that's where accusations come in, because people think you're cheating.
Give me what the good Lord gave me.
As someone who's recently switched from controller to mouse and keyboard, a lot of my switch consisted of me playing on controller, having the aim assist and target assist turned off, so that if I'm hitting shots, I know it's me hitting the shots. So if I were to play on controller in, a ranked setting or in Warzone, and I have that little bit of help on top of knowing that I can hit my shots, I know what I'm controlling versus what I'm not controlling. And then switching over to mouse and keyboard, I already have that visual memorization of, all right, yeah, I'm overcorrecting. I need to, adjust my sensitivity or adjust how fast I'm moving my mouse.
One final question from me, and then I'll leave it up to you guys if you guys want to add anything else. But you recommend they buy it? If someone's out there going, $70 is a lot of money. It is a lot of money for a lot of people, especially in today's day and age. Or someone like me. I have Call of Duty. I've got Modern Warfare 2. Is Modern Warfare 3 worth the upgrade? I mean, my impression, you're getting new game modes like the zombies and things like that. You're able to carry over things from Modern Warfare 2, which is nice. So, it sounds like there's value there for me, but I will defer to the experts and what you guys think.
So, officially, as of yesterday, on the PlayStation 5 store, it's listed as a DLC. Personally, my personal opinion, I don't agree. Because you're getting a zombies mode. You're getting 16 new maps. You're getting new guns, new camos, new movement, new everything. Yes. Should some of the stuff been in Modern Warfare 2? Well, yeah, It should have. But that being said, it just feels different. You can't classify it as a DLC if it feels different. And a lot of people will say, well, they could have just changed it in Modern Warfare 2 with an update. I don't think these people understand how much coding goes into the movement, the gunplay, all of that. It's not just a quick update fix. Like, you can't just change the entire wavelength of the game to please somebody. You have to make something from scratch, or you have to make it from the same engine and the same physics, and you need time to do that. So would I suggest paying $70 for this? Yes. Another one of my reasonings for that as well, Brandon, Tori, you guys know, how much did the DLC for Black Ops 2 cost, all 5 packs?
$75.
And that came with 16 maps, new guns, new skins, correct?
Right.
Essentially, you're paying $5 more in 2012 than you're paying in 2023, but you're getting all of it right away. And then on top of that, they're going to be adding free maps, free guns. Obviously, you pay for the battle pass if you want. But you're going to get this free DLC. You're going to get free weapons. You're going to get free maps, free game modes, whatever. So do I think it's worth $70? Fuck yes, I do. I wouldn't have said that last year for Modern Warfare 2. But I will double down on it for this year's game, yes. It's worth every cent.
As someone who's already pre-ordered, as far as would I recommend someone getting it, I would look at the person and really ask them what they're there for. If you are a campaign person and you don't plan on playing a whole lot of multiplayer or Warzone or zombies, honestly, watch a YouTube video on the campaign. You'll get the same experience from someone who's probably been doing this for a majority of their life. As far as the rest of the game, wholeheartedly, I believe it's worth the $70. You're getting not only a full multiplayer experience, you're getting an upgrade to an engine that we've already been playing on for a year. You're getting all these new modes inside of multiplayer. Plus, you're given a free way to show how good you are with all of these camo challenges, whether it's the zombies camos, the Modern Warfare 2 guns, Modern Warfare 3 guns. There's a purpose there, and on top of that, they also give you extra incentive. Yes, it's another purchase, but there's a battle pass you can complete. There are challenges that come with the battle pass to earn more battle pass tiers. This is definitely a $70 DLC or game that I recommend you buy, unless you are looking at getting it for the campaign.
Real quick, too, I'm going to add to that. The Battle Pass, you don't have to buy it to get the DLC weapons. When the Battle Pass is over for the season, they bring out challenges to get the guns unlocked. And on top of that, if you want to feel that nostalgia that all of these people have been begging for, all of the maps are from Modern Warfare 2 2009. So you're going to have Afghan, you're going to have Favela, High Rise, you're going to have all of those maps that came with that game immediately at the start. And not to mention, rumor has it, if this is a selling point for you, every season after release is going to have to do with a past COD of some sort. You're going to get guns from like Advanced Warfare, guns from Ghosts, guns from Modern Warfare 3, the 2010 edition, or 2011. It's just going to deal with guns from past CODs and content from past CODs, maps, stuff like that. Not saying they're not going to make their own new maps, but they're giving the community what we've been asking for, and that's the nostalgia feel, going back and reliving our childhood, basically. And we're getting all of this as free DLC. Because again, you do not have to pay for the Battle Pass to unlock these weapons. You wait for the season to be over. You can unlock it via challenges.
All right, Rex.
Me personally, as a person that loves just to kind of, go off on my own and, just brain dead myself just in multiplayer, just going and trying to do stuff with weapons. It definitely feels like it's going to be a better experience. This literally is the game that we all wanted MW2 to be. But, besides the campaign, I definitely think it is a worthwhile adventure, especially if you liked a little bit more the gunplay and how the guns feel, and then just kind of going back into kind of like the basics that they kind of started up to have in 2019 with a little bit of tweaks to make it a little fun and a little bit more fair, so that way it's not like there's going to still be a skill gap between some people because of the movement, but it's not going to be exceedingly so because it's a little bit, it's smoothed out a little bit, so that way it's a little bit more run of the mill and everybody can try to get a feel of how the movement will be.
And they could definitely pick up on it. Like for somebody like you, Eagle, who didn't really get the chance to do a lot of slide canceling because you didn't really pick up COD right until about this last year's game, correct?
Yeah. I don't think I've ever played a Call of Duty until Modern Warfare 2 this last
So the one thing with this game, if you do end up purchasing, not going to twist your arm or anything, I will show you how to slide cancel. It's a little easier on mouse and keyboard, and it doesn't destroy a keyboard. It destroys controllers. I think I went through like 7 or 8 sticks during the lifespan of Warzone 1. But
not sponsored, but a nice, cool little thing to help out with that is, Xbox has the Fusion series that has paddles on the back, which really helped save my sticks on my controllers. It's just the triggers go out before anything else.
I appreciate that plug, but I'll plug Scuff before Xbox anyways.
I'm going for the affordable everyday person, Ryan. Not everybody has $300 to $400 for a custom Scuff controller. This Fusion is like, depending on when you can get it, is like $80 to $100.
Anyways, moving forward. Slide canceling
is very easy. That's how it be for Raw Nation stream team leads like that.
Yeah.
You baller like that.
We out here, Anyways, no, slide canceling is something that takes a little bit of getting used to, but once you get it down, you're a movement god. It's just plain and simple. So if you end up buying it and you're willing to learn a little bit, I would love to, and I'm sure we would all love to help you out and teach you how to slide cancel and get with the movement, because Modern Warfare 2, it made people worse. Let's just put it that way. Even pros. It made a lot of people worse at the game. So but that's all I have. I apologize for taking up all the talking time.
You all right?
Good.
I brought you guys on here to talk. I don't got much. Speaking of that, any final thoughts to share with the audience, as it were? Anything we missed?
Just be prepared if you purchase this game. It is going to feel like a quote unquote DLC, because it's what we should have gotten with Modern Warfare 2. Infinity Ward screwed that up. But if you're into multiplayer, Warzone, zombies, that in itself is worth $70. For Christ's sake, Black Ops 4 didn't even have a campaign, and people still spent $60 on that. And It had the same amount of game modes.
I've been buying new seasons in Rainbow Six Siege long enough. I'm not going to complain about DLC or that seems to be. I understand it's a very similar game, but they're all COD games. Okay.
But if you think about it too, right? Siege has been around since what, 2015, 2016?
Yeah, 15.
And it's still alive and has a bunch of concurrent players. Why? Because they keep bringing out new content. They don't regurgitate the same game every year, but at the same time, it's almost as bad as regurgitating the same game every year because it's the same game. You're just getting new content for it. Think of purchasing COD every year as purchasing a DLC for the last COD, because that's what it is.
Yeah. Just
a different story.
Yeah, that's the only sad part for me with COD is you get a new game every year. It's like I don't have. I am not one of those people that has the time to know life the thing and I get my full play out of it, I guess, before. Like, I don't feel like I explored Modern Warfare 2 all that deeply. And I'm probably going to end up with Modern Warfare 3 and now my investment in Modern Warfare 2's down the pipe. Except for hopefully I can bring my Mutineers skins over. That way I can still rep my dead team. Rip Mutineers,
and all of your guns.
Pour one out for the homies. Yeah.
Oh, we never answered the question, by the way, about who you should be rooting for.
Yeah.
For COD League. So we about to throw some hands, Brandon and I, right now. Personal opinion, Optic Texas.
Tejas, eh?
They are one of the best Call of Duty teams out there today. And Brandon's gonna say 100 Thieves or 1,000, whatever their names are.
So they go by the LA Thieves in COD, and a big blow to Optic Texas. Ghosty, one of their, I believe it was one of their anchors or one of their off-point players. Really good player for Optic Texas. Just got traded to the 2023 LA Thieves team. I'm really looking forward to their next matchup because it is a spitfire. It is never calm.
So here's my thing
you got kicked out or traded.
Yep. Here's my thing with the reason why I like Optic. I'm a big Z-Laner guy. And I've been watching Z since, Doc got banned from Twitch, couldn't play with his friends. And he participated in a tournament, and his chat basically was just like, check out this guy Z-Laner, he's amazing, check this guy out. And they kept spamming it. So he went and he checked out one of his streams, and he ended up giving him a text message or a message on Facebook, because that's where Z streamed at the time. And they ended up winning that tournament. And Z-Laner carried Doc. He had like 30 kills in the first round. And ever since then, I was a big Z fan. And a couple years back, he got the phone call from Optic, and they're like, we want you repping our organization, and you're going to be a substitute for our 6v6 competitive team. So if they ever need him, he's going to be there, obviously. But he's a Warzone guy, clearly. But that's the reason why Optic and I feel like they have to be my favorite team, is because Z-Laner is one of my favorite COD streamers of all time. So
I get a little on the fence here. So growing up, obviously, when it comes to multiplayer, I enjoy quick scoping. I enjoy sniping in 6v6, especially on small maps. I grew up liking FaZe. One of my favorite content creators, Noah J. He's a big zombies dude. It's actually where my background's from, for those of you in chat that don't know. He does a lot of zombies. He got picked up as a content creator for 100 Thieves, and between League and COD, it's kind of been my team. Win or lose, a lot of the content creators on there I really enjoy. A lot of the pro players I super enjoy watching, watching their streams, watching their videos, their highlight reels. They're fun, they're interactive. It feels comforting, even though I've never actually met the people that I'm watching.
Now, I will have to say, if I remember correctly, LA Thieves probably have a little leg up for me because of the red If you can't tell, I like red and black as colors. Whereas, isn't Optic like a neon green?
Yes.
Yeah, and not as much of a neon green person. That's my criteria. But hey, I went with. I'm not saying that it's impossible yet. I went with the Mutineers, who were like coral green and pink or something. So, it's not all about the colors. And Fox Warrior Gaming, by the way, thank you for stopping by.
But yeah, as far as the question you asked, is there anybody to be rooting for? I mean, both of those teams are top tier teams. Honestly, honest to God, I wouldn't say FaZe anymore. They've kind of gone downhill. I don't know if you would agree with that, Brandon, but
they've really just kind of turned into content creation. A lot of their bigger members are their content creators, and their esports really doesn't do a whole lot.
I mean, they're not the FaZe that we knew when Nick Merckx was playing COD and hit clips on people in COD League. Honestly, like I said, the two big major teams that really kill it every year are Optic and LA Thieves. What is it, Seattle?
Seattle Surge is definitely on the rise.
They're on the rise. They have some pretty cool colors as well.
Blue and like a purple, I believe.
Yeah, they stole their hockey team's colors, or their hockey team stole their colors. I don't know which one.
And then Boston Breach.
Boston Breach is like training team. I don't know the technical term. Basically the under team for Optic Texas.
But they compete in these big tournaments with Optic. It's a way for them to scout other talent. But they're on the rise too, to where they could possibly compete as just their own, instead of being like the AAA COD team.
Mm-hmm.
The New York Subliners, yellow and black, they have a lot of really young talent, and they've shown their hand plenty of times against even Optic and LA Thieves, where sometimes they're almost kicking these teams out of brackets as a overall young team.
Who was that kid we watched in Vanguard? Who did he play for? The guy that pulled out the anti-tank rifle and just quick-scoped everybody, like through walls.
Oh.
I think he's like 17 years old, absolute demon.
I know who you're talking about. Let me pull up YouTube real quick.
He had the highest KD in the COD Invitational, or the COD League tournament. I think he had like a whopping 1.2, and the average for COD League is like a 0.9 when competing in the league.
Some of these, if they were to play regular 6v6 against casuals, they're averaging 1.5, but against other COD League players, they're averaging like a 0.7, and they're still good players. They're just going against other really good players. So a 1.2 in that league is phenomenal. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah,
we can talk about it after too. I don't want to take up more of the Eagles' time. So
yeah, the Mutineers turned into the Miami Heretics now.
Are they keeping the same colors or no?
No, they went to the Dolphins. Yeah, they went
the Dolphins,
green and orange.
Let's go.
That's not bad at all, though. Hopefully, they can get out of the slump they were in.
Yeah. I apparently screwed them up rooting for them because that was not their season last year.
But yeah, no, man, there's plenty of options of teams to root for. I know that I think, with you choosing the Mutineers, you're kind of an underdog story kind of guy. So Boston Breach, definitely. Seattle Surge and the New York Subliners are probably your best bets if you want.
Minnesota or Minneapolis team as well.
Yes,
There's the Minnesota Roker.
There you go.
Yep, and I think they took Vikings colors.
Yeah,
No, they're a deep purple, then like a light blue.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So yeah, man. Like I said, there's plenty of options if you're looking for somebody. But you know, Brandon and I had to give our 2 cents since our teams are eternal rivals.
That was,
and then, you know, I was the odd
idea.
man out, and I got the gorilla skin.
The gorillas. All right. Well, it looks like we've been going about an hour now, so I think that's enough COD talk. We may end up at some point doing like a state of esports one. We kind of dipped our toe in there with that, you know, phase going more content creation. Sounds like a lot of stuff's happening in the esports realm right now, but that is a topic for another day. So I think we're going to leave it there. I want to thank again Mr. RyanRellish, Mr. Rex, and Mr. Snowman Burner for giving me their time and their expertise on this. Please go. Ryan streams on Kick. So does Snowman and Rex. Go drop them a follow over on Kick if you're there. And also check out the Rex and Relish YouTube channel. And also please go and check out Raw Nation. All those will be linked in the description under the video when I get a chance. And yeah, go give them a follow. It's good times. And I appreciate everybody who stopped by and anybody who watches this in the future. I hope this finds you well, and I hope you found it informative. So I hope you all have a good night.